What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Moonshine, the Hillbilly Hellrazor here. Hoping you're all having a good one. I'm doing all right. Can't complain. It's my night off. Don't have to work tonight. Went and did all my errands and stuff like that. Had to go in last night, which is normally another one of my days off, but this upcoming weekend, Sunday, I am getting to go see Belphegor here in Tampa. So that's going to be pretty cool. I've never seen them before. Recently just started getting into them a little bit, and everything I've heard from them, I love. It's just fantastic black metal. So it's going to be really cool seeing them live. They got a band called Hate and two other bands that I can't remember right off the top of my head, but I can tell you real quick because I was asked by Eddie from Realms of Metal, Realms of Rock. By the way, if you didn't see, he and Vincent Crowley did a video together, and Eddie mentioned that he's starting to he signed a lease on his location for his brick and mortar store, where he's actually gonna have a physical location for his Realms of Rock record store, which is very cool. I've mentioned it before, but stuff like what Eddie's doing, that to me is the backbone of the American economy. Running a small business, being your own boss, getting to do something you love. That's all stuff that's very commendable. Super cool. It's very cool he's getting to do that, and I wish him all the best because that's so cool, and I get to go see him one of these days. But anyhow, as I stalled for time, a band called Arcona, Veil of Pnath, and Hate are the support act on the tour. So yeah, man, it should be very cool. I'll have video of it, which will be pretty good, and then I will have, as always, my awful audio excerpts as my microphone on my phone gets blown out by the PA system. But nonetheless, it'll be a good time. So I had to work on one of my days off, on one of my normal days off, just so I could get the night off. And I won't even get into that because boy, howdy, was that a humdinger of an evening. Like every bizarre thing that could have happened, and it almost in a lot of ways, even though it's not about me or anything like that, it's just wild to me how sometimes everything happens when I go on to work, when I show up on an off night or something like that. It just seems like everything goes right to it's like the chaos card gets pulled, and it's like, hey, he'll be fine. He can deal with all this horse shit. But nonetheless, the reason I'm here today is the main purpose is I got a package in the mail today, which I wanted to share with everybody. I got a package in the mail from Trevor Shredbeard. He recently, as a lot of people may or may not know, if you're not familiar, Trevor Shredbeard, he's got a YouTube channel. He does a bunch of shorts where he plays guitar, shows off some excerpts from some stuff with him just riffing at home. He does live streams occasionally, and he recently opened up his own record label called Fomorian Productions. He's got another guy with a channel here called Paul Kreutz. Most people know Paul from Kai. That's his band, Hawaiian Death Metal. They just released Paul's new album, A Glimpse into a Violent Past. Is I believe the name of it off the top of my head. I'm sorry, Paul, if I screwed that up. He's got another YouTube dude, Maddox Deep Shadows. He's got his band Inebriated Winds. He's got their demo. This dude, Ghoulish Dave, he's got his Cryptic Fog and Ghoulish Grin, I want to say is his other band. He got some stuff. And the other owner of the label is a gentleman by the name of Lee, has a band Warhammer 666. He's put out a bunch of stuff on the label. So Trevor and Lee making stuff happen and, building up their own small label. Again, another small business. You can't get enough of those, especially in the in metal. It's cool that they're giving some lesser known local bands exposure, around the country and whatnot. But anyhow, Trev hit me up recently. He was telling me how Hey man, I'm gonna send you this because he's got this compilation thing that he put out, a little demo thing. Not so much a demo, but anyhow, a little comp thing. So he sent that to me, and I got that in the mail today. So it's pretty cool. I'll just show that to you if you can see that. That is it. I haven't pulled it out yet. I haven't listened to it yet, but it's got Infuriator, which is also Drucifer, another guy who everyone's familiar with. Mordant Red, everybody knows Revok and his band. Trying to get this out of the glare of the sun. There's the Cryptic Fog, Kai, Warhammer 666. Vincent Crowley was very generous with his time and his music. He put something from his band, Vincent Crowley Band, Infidel Reich, Acheron, and I want to say up in the corner there, that's Inebriated Winds, but don't quote me on that. But I can't really make out what it says there. But that's another band. So it'd be very cool. And Go to Mentis is on there. Barry, that goat metal show. Very cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. And then Shred threw in a couple things. He threw in a couple stickers, a couple Fomorian. Or actually, these feel like magnets. Fomorian Productions magnets. And then the piece de resistance. He threw these in. These are Backstreet Boys cards. I don't know why he threw these in. It's very funny. I think if I'm getting the lore correct, Paul sent them to him for whatever reason. I don't know if Shred likes Backstreet Boys. I don't know what the deal is there, but he sent me a couple of these. It's very funny. I actually do have a very interesting, well, interesting to me, maybe not to you, but I have a funny story about the Backstreet Boys. When I was a student, a wrestling student, training at Malenko's, I had a place down the street when the first time I lived in Tampa. I had a place down the street from what is called Raymond James Stadiums. Ray J is where the Bucks play, the Tampa Bay Bucks, and whenever there were big concerts, like big, huge musical acts coming through, or even like friggin' Franklin Graham, which is not I don't want I want to say Billy Graham. I think it's Billy Graham, but I just think of superstar Billy Graham. But the pastor, the big huge mega pastor dude. But his son, he was there. My couple of my roommates went to go there and watch him preach the good word and all that sort of stuff. But one night I was tortured, much like the detainees at Guantanamo were with the type of music I would like. I was getting tortured at home with the Backstreet Boys playing down the street, and it was awful because we were a stone's throw away from the place, and you could hear their awful music. So this is very funny. I do appreciate it. It's actually going to go into my photo album, and I was trying to put them in there next to a couple of things, and they didn't fit. But then it got me to thinking, well, hey, this is kind of cool. I'll show this off. So I'll warn you, if you're not into wrestling stuff or collectibles or anything like that, then have a good one. I'll catch you on the next one. It's always good here seeing everybody come here. Hope you check out the next video. I got a couple coming up, but yeah, just keep an eye out. But if you're not into any sort of wrestling talk or anything like that, I'll see you next time. All right. Um, but I was going through my photo album and I was trying to put these things. I thought it'd be funny to put them next to some of these wrestling cards I had. I had these from when I was a kid, and when I got a bunch of stuff out of my parents' house years ago, these were in there. So not trying to not let them fall apart or anything, try and preserve them for a little while. I ended up laminating them. So I figured, what the hell? I'll show them to you. It's kind of cool stuff. So I don't know if anybody had these or not. I'm sure some people did. I don't know if Topps put these out. I don't remember if that's who put them out, but yeah, these are the cards. So I'll show a couple of them to you. Of course, Hogan was the champ at the time, so I got one of those. Of course, another one. These might have been a combination of a bunch of packs, because at one point there's another, the Hulkster brother, listening to the crowd before everybody was booing him for being a racist. But what you would get is you'd get a bunch of cards, and they'd make a puzzle, and this is what it would turn out to be. And I know at one point I had that, but I don't remember what I did with it. It probably just gets lost to time, like a bunch of kid stuff. But I did keep these. This is a pretty cool one. This was an action shot of Tito Santana giving a backdrop to Dangerous Dan Davis, the corrupt referee of the 80s, who ended up working with. He was a corrupt official that ended up teaming up with Jimmy Hart, and Jimmy Hart would manage him, and he was basically like he's the guy that would go out there and just get the crap kicked out of him most every night. But at one point, he was feuding with the Bulldogs and Tito Santana and a bunch of other notable names from the rock and wrestling era of pro wrestling. But very cool stuff. You got strongman Ken Patera. This was after he got back after he had his little brush with the law. Him and Mr. Saito, they got into a scuffle with a bunch of police and ended up going to jail for a little while. But this is a pretty cool one. The American Express, I believe, is what they called Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda. You know, a couple of young go-getters back in the day. And they had all these, just show you that they had all their stats and everything like that, little things that you could read about the guys on the backs of these cards. You know, they were in the first WrestleMania with Sheik and Volkov. Very, very cool stuff. The Fabulous Moolah, you know, very famous if you're not familiar. Women's pro wrestler. I know some movie came out about what the hell's her name? The movie just came out about her, the Queen of the Ring, Mildred Burke. She was one of the first uh, women's wrestlers in the history of the business, and she had quite a storied career, and there was a lot to tell about it. So they finally they made a biopic about her, and they got a bunch of wrestlers to do it. So I haven't seen it yet, but I'll probably check it out, and then you know I'll let you know what I thought of it. I'm not really familiar with Mildred Burke, but I know and I understand the importance of her in the history of the wrestling business. But Revik, if you're seeing this, you'll appreciate it. I got a Kamala with kimchi. Kamala, the Ugandan headhunter or the Ugandan giant, depending on where where you knew of him. But James Kamala Harris, the only Kamala Harris that matters. Yeah, he was fantastic. Just a very agile big man. You know, very deceptively agile for his size. He had a great run in Memphis, Mid South. Ended up in WWF. I don't think he did much after that. He went and did indies and stuff like that, but that was pretty much it. And then I know he passed away a couple of years ago. But he had some health issues. You know, battled diabetes most of his life. He ended up losing a limb and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, but very notable, a Hall of Fame wrestler from back in the day. And then finally, probably one of my all time favorites, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Just a fantastic worker. You know, one of the greatest babyface wrestlers of all time. I don't think he ever went heel. He never turned heel at any point in his career, but just a smooth worker in the ring. Very charismatic presence. Had an ability to connect with the crowd, and he was you know, it kind of sounds like hipster douchey to say nowadays, but I mean legit, when I was a kid growing up, some of my favorite wrestlers were Ricky Steamboat, Dynamite Kid, Paul Orndorff, the British Bulldogs, stuff like that. Those are the guys I grew up on, like friggin', Sting and people like that. Watching NWA and stuff like that. That was who I was into. And then when I got into the business, it was so cool to learn arm drags, because you got to learn arm drags and start throwing them like Ricky Steamboat. So it was very cool stuff. But I thought I would share that with everybody. I thought it was kind of a cool thing. Again, another trip down memory lane. I don't know if anybody had these things. I was going through them and looking at the backs. You could see, at least on one of them, they had the little puzzle piece on the back where you would construct the little Hogan gimmick. But yeah, these are kind of cool, and the stupid Backstreet Boys cards are going to go right next to them in the photo album. So and they'll go next to the nice handwritten note that Trevor left me. So very cool stuff. Thank you to Shredbeard for sending me the comp. I'm gonna enjoy it. Yeah, man. I got some others. Like I said, gonna see Belfagor on Sunday, so I'll have some video posted of that in the near future. Uh, Album review coming up. I got the new Cradle of Filth coming tomorrow, so that should be pretty cool. So I'll check that out and I'll let you know what I thought of it. And then I'm gonna hop off here and I'm gonna do another a couple little cool videos, and hopefully people enjoy it. And yeah, that's Uh-oh. I probably look better with the camera getting blurry on me. It's probably because of the light outside. It's starting to get dark out. But yeah, yeah, man. As this camera goes wonky on me, there we go. We'll turn some light on that. Get it going. But yeah, in closing, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you stuck around and watched the whole thing. If not, that's cool. I know everybody's time is precious. You have a whole lot of time to listen to some dumb hillbilly babbling, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Everybody, have a good one. Take it easy. As always, stay sick, stay heavy, stay brutal. Always tuck your chin upon impact. Don't forget to breathe. Always remember to keep one foot in the gold and one fist in the gutter. Everyone take it easy. Have a good one. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.